Hi there. You've seen me sing Hamilton songs before.
New York, you can be a new man. Just you wait. I've been reading Common Sense by Thomas Paine. Want a revolution, I want a revelation. So listen to my declaration.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Hamilton is a new Broadway musical about one of America's founding fathers, Alexander Hamilton. It's based on an 800-page biography written by Ron Chernow, and while I haven't actually seen it, I listen to it on Spotify all the time. One of the most special and praised parts of Hamilton is the cast. Everybody in the main cast, except for one person, is a person of color. Alexander Hamilton is played by the writer and composer of the show, who also wrote In the Heights, Lin-Manuel Miranda. Miranda is a genius, and he's so enthusiastic about everything. Plus, he's writing music for Disney's upcoming film Moana, so I'm extremely excited about that. Two of the prominent main characters are female, Angelica and Eliza Schuyler, and they're both played by beautiful, amazing, talented women of color. Philippa Sue plays Alexander Hamilton's wife, Eliza Schuyler Hamilton, who's the best of wives and best of women. Renee Elise Goldsberry plays her sister, Angelica Schuyler Church, who initially has an infatuation with Alexander, but eventually steps aside to let Eliza be happy. The only person in the main cast that isn't a person of color is the guy that plays King George III, who nobody likes. But he's played by Jonathan Groff, who everyone likes. And let me just say that King George III is the snotty ex-boyfriend that America is just dying to shed. Leslie Odom Jr. plays Aaron Burr, the vice president that shot Alexander Hamilton in a duel and lived to regret it. Christopher Jackson plays George Washington, America's first president. This character has so much composure, and Chris Jackson plays it so well, and he's extremely talented. I don't know anybody that could play George Washington as well as Chris Jackson. Okediete Onajuwon plays Hercules Mulligan, an American spy that played an integral role in the winning of the Revolution for America in the first act, and James Madison, one of the other founding fathers and eventually the fourth president of America, in the second. Anthony Ramos plays both John Lawrence, who's rumored to have been a secret paramour of Hamilton's, and Philip Hamilton, Alexander and Eliza's first son, who not so coincidentally died in a duel. Finally, Daveed Diggs plays arguably the most famous of the founding fathers besides George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, but only in the second act. He plays Marquis de Lafayette in the first act, a French aristocrat who fought alongside Washington and Hamilton in the American Revolution. All of this talk about the cast is as intentional as the casting itself is. I assume the biggest question surrounding this cast is, why change the races of the founding fathers and other important figures in early American history? Lin-Manuel Miranda said it best, if you ask me.
This is the story of America then, told by America now. It looks like America now.
He talks in interviews a lot about how by the second chapter of Chernow's book, he knew that Alexander Hamilton's life was destined to be a musical. A hip-hop musical, no less. Now, I'll admit, when my friend first told me about this concept, I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. A musical about Alexander Hamilton? The guy on the $10 bill? What? But then I listened to the soundtrack, and the more that I got into the music, the more that I really understood what Lin-Manuel Miranda was talking about. It all just makes so much sense. In theory, it's weird, but in practice, it's perfect. And a huge part of it is because it truly is America then, told by America now. Having a cast of almost entirely people of color is 100% intentional. The cast is meant to make audience members reimagine American history. It's somewhat meant to make us ask, how would American history be different if people of color weren't oppressed the way that they had been in 1776? At the same time, the story doesn't really stray too far from what actually happened in history. Why is this important? Well, for starters, Broadway isn't exactly the most diverse place to be. Too many shows on Broadway already have all or mostly white casts. The only two exceptions I can think of off the top of my head are Aladdin and The Lion King. Granted, I don't really know that many musicals that are on Broadway at the moment. But more importantly, this cast allows the audience and the cast themselves to reimagine and reclaim a past that they'd previously been left out of. Daveed Diggs said in an interview on the off-Broadway opening night of the show,
"It gives us a sense of ownership over a country that we have often felt excluded from, particularly in the forming of it. Lin has written them in a way that allows us to understand and feel that they make sense on our bodies."
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. in the comments below. Let me know what your favorite song from Hamilton is, or just, who your favorite character is, anything you really like about Hamilton, because I will talk about it until the end of days. If you're not already subscribed to us, please do so down below, especially if you'd like to see more videos like this. The Scrivener and I will both see you next week. This is for Battybuttercup on YouTube. So here you go. You asked for it on Tumblr, but here it is on YouTube. Hercules Mulligan, I need no introduction. When you knock me down, I get the fuck back up again.
Is there any founding fathers that Hamilton got along with?
No.
No?
George Washington.
He was the only buddy?
That was it.